Today, I want to invite you to take a break from the rush of everyday life and reflect on something profound: the signs around you. Have you ever stopped to think that the universe might be trying to communicate with you? Perhaps, in a moment of doubt or difficulty, you noticed a curious coincidence, a word spoken by someone that seemed especially meaningful, or even the comforting presence of nature around you. These are little reminders that we are connected to something bigger. Spiritual awakening begins with one simple step: being present. Often, we get so caught up in the problems and demands of life that we forget to notice the details. However, it is precisely in these details that the universe deposits important messages. Recognizing these signs is like learning a new language. At first it may seem difficult or even confusing, but over time you develop greater sensitivity and begin to notice patterns and connections that previously went unnoticed. One of the first steps to recognizing these signs is to cultivate inner silence. This means slowing down and taking moments to listen to what's inside you. How many times do we ignore that inner voice, that intuition that insists on showing us a path? Silence is not just the absence of noise, but an opportunity to listen carefully to what is often hidden amidst the noise of life. Have you ever felt like something or someone appeared in your life at the right time? This could be one of the signs from the universe. People, situations, and even challenges are placed in our path for reasons that we sometimes only understand later. These moments invite us to reflect, grow, and align our actions with our essence. Signs can also be in nature. A sunset that seems brighter on a difficult day, a bird song that interrupts a negative thought, or even the feeling of peace that comes from looking at the sky. Nature is one of the simplest and most powerful ways the universe reminds us of its presence. These moments are not coincidences. They are invitations for you to stop, observe, and reconnect. Another important aspect of spiritual awakening is synchronicity. Have you ever heard of this term? This is when seemingly disconnected events begin to align in a way that seems impossible to ignore. A common example is thinking about someone and then receiving a message from that person. Or maybe you're facing a dilemma and suddenly come across a book, video, or conversation that offers exactly the answer you needed. These moments are clear signs that there is something bigger guiding you. But to recognize synchronicity, it is necessary to be aware. Our mind often gets stuck in the past or worried about the future. This lack of presence makes us miss the signs that are in the now. This is why the practice of mindfulness, full attention, is so valuable. When you allow yourself to be completely present in each moment, it's like placing a magnifying glass over reality, revealing details and messages that were previously hidden. Now I want you to reflect. What signs have you noticed throughout your life but perhaps ignored? It could be a persistent feeling, a recurring dream, or even a phrase you've heard repeatedly from different sources. These signs are like pieces of a puzzle that, when put together, reveal a bigger picture. And that image is your spiritual path. The beauty of spiritual awakening is that it does not require major external changes. It starts within you, in the way you observe, feel, and respond to the world around you. It's not about looking for something outside, but about rediscovering what has always been there, waiting to be noticed. Therefore, I invite you at this moment to take a break. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what is the universe trying to show me right now? You may be surprised by the answer that emerges, whether it's a sensation, a memory, or a simple feeling of peace. This is just the beginning of our journey together. There is much more to explore about recognizing and interpreting the signs around you. I hope you are as excited as I am to continue this deep and transformative conversation. Now that we understand the importance of being present to recognize the signs around us, let's delve deeper into an essential aspect of this process: intuition. Have you ever had that feeling that something was right or wrong, even without a logical explanation. This inner voice is one of the most powerful tools in spiritual awakening. Intuition is like a silent guide, always willing to guide us, but which we often ignore because we are disconnected from ourselves. Reconnecting with your intuition takes practice and confidence. It's like strengthening a muscle that has been little used. Each time you listen and act on this inner feeling, it becomes clearer and more reliable. But why do so many people feel disconnected from this inner wisdom? The answer lies in the way we distance ourselves from our essence over time. External noise, other people's opinions, judgments, and social expectations can drown out the voice of intuition. And here's something fascinating. The more we connect with our intuition, the more external signs become evident. It's as if the universe responds to our willingness to listen. What once seemed confusing or meaningless begins to align in surprising ways. The secret is to trust, even if logic says otherwise. Have you ever heard of the expression, "listen to your heart"? Despite being used figuratively, there is something very real about it. Studies show that the heart has a powerful energy field, and many believe that it is a kind of communication center with the universe. When you feel something deep in your heart, it can be a sign that you are aligned with your essence. So listening to the heart is not only poetic, but also deeply spiritual. Another important aspect of connecting with the signs is learning to be in harmony with nature. Nature not only surrounds us, but also mirrors us. Just as seasons change and natural cycles are renewed, we too go through phases. When we learn to observe nature carefully, we realize that it offers us constant lessons. For example, think of a tree. During autumn, it lets its leaves fall. For many, this may seem like a time of loss, but it is actually a necessary process for growth. In winter, the tree appears to be at rest, but is actually preparing to bloom again in the spring. In the same way, the signs around us often invite us to let go of what no longer serves us, to be still, and to trust that, when the time is right, we will flourish. Here, I would like to propose a practical reflection. Think about something in your life that you are holding on to, but that perhaps has already fulfilled its purpose. It could be a habit, a thought, or even a relationship. Is the universe sending you signals to let it go? In addition to intuition and nature, there is another way to receive signs, through dreams. Dreams are portals to the unconscious and can contain profound messages. Dreams often use symbols and metaphors that reflect our inner state or show us something we need to notice. Have you ever had a dream so vivid that it seemed more real than reality itself? These dreams can be an invitation to explore something that is beyond the surface. However, to interpret signs in dreams, it is important to pay attention to details. An animal that appears, a predominant color, or even the feeling that the dream provokes can be valuable clues. Keeping a dream journal is a simple but powerful practice to explore this dimension. When you start recording your dreams, you may notice patterns or messages that previously went unnoticed. Another point worth highlighting is connecting with other people. Often, signs come to us through meetings and dialogues. Have you ever talked to someone and felt like they said exactly what you needed to hear? Or perhaps you met someone at such an unlikely time that it seemed predestined. These encounters are reminders that we are connected to something greater, and each interaction has the potential to teach us something valuable. As we move forward on this journey, I want you to reflect on the people in your life right now. Who has been a mirror for you? Who has challenged you to grow? And perhaps more importantly, what have you offered these people? Spiritual awakening is not an isolated process. It is lived and shared in community. I leave you with a simple but transformative practice. Set aside a few minutes every day to ask yourself, what can I learn from this moment? It could be something small, like a smile you received, or something bigger, like a difficulty you are facing. The answer won't always be immediate, but over time you will begin to realize that every moment of your life is full of meaning. Being open to recognizing the signs is an act of courage and humility. And it is also what makes spiritual awakening such a beautiful and unique journey. Are you prepared to move forward? A common question on the path to spiritual awakening is, how do we know if a sign we perceive is really a message from the universe or just a figment of our imagination? This question is valid and helps us explore the delicate line between intuition and personal interpretation. After all, spiritual awakening is not about creating meaning where there is none, but rather about recognizing what is genuinely present. The first step in differentiating true signs from interpretations is to observe the impact they have on you. Real signs often carry a sense of clarity, even if the message is not yet completely understood. They are accompanied by a kind of quiet certainty, while personal interpretations tend to generate anxiety, doubts, or confusion. This difference may seem subtle, but with practice, you begin to notice when you are resonating with something true or just projecting expectations. Another important point is repetition. Often, signs manifest themselves more than once in different ways, as if the universe wanted to make sure you actually noticed them. It could be a phrase that you hear at different times, a number that keeps appearing, or even a sensation that appears repeatedly in certain contexts. This consistency is an indicator that there is something important there. However, it is essential to remember that not everything that happens is a sign. Part of spiritual awakening is developing discernment, not getting carried away by every coincidence that comes your way. The best way to do this is by cultivating the practice of self-observation. When something catches your attention, ask yourself, why did this impact me? What am I feeling right now? Is this in line with my intuition or some desire I'm projecting? These questions help bring clarity and prevent you from falling into traps created by your own mind. A practical example of this can be seen in situations in which we are emotionally involved. Imagine that you are going through a moment of uncertainty in a relationship. It is natural for the mind to look for signals to confirm or deny what you are feeling. In this case, it can be easy to mistake common coincidences, like seeing the person's name over and over again, for a clear message from the universe. Therefore, it is essential to be in emotional balance before interpreting any sign. Another relevant aspect is the neutrality of the signals. Truthful messages are not manipulative or biased. They don't force a decision or push you in a specific direction. Instead, they come as subtle reminders or invitations for reflection. When you notice a sign, try sitting with it for a moment without rushing to act or jump to conclusions. Sometimes the message reveals itself little by little, like a puzzle that is completed over time. Furthermore, genuine signs tend to bring peace even if the message is challenging. For example, if the universe is guiding you to end a cycle, there may be an initial feeling of resistance or sadness, but also an understanding that this change is necessary and beneficial. This inner peace is an indicator that you are in tune with the greater flow of life. Another fundamental point is to trust your own process. We often seek external validation to interpret signals, asking other people what they think or waiting for ready-made answers. While it's good to hear different perspectives, it's important to remember that the message was sent to you, and no one is better able to understand it than yourself. Trust what your heart is trying to communicate. And here comes a very powerful practice: meditation. Taking time each day to quiet your mind and be with yourself helps create space for the signals to become clearer. During meditation, you can even ask the universe to reinforce a message or reveal it more clearly. This simple practice can make a big difference in how you perceive and interpret the signs around you. Now, I want to share something that can be transformative. We don't always need to fully understand signals for them to fulfill their role. Sometimes you just need to acknowledge their presence and trust the process. The message can reveal itself at the right time, and the important thing is to keep an open heart and mind. I want you to reflect on the following. What signs have you noticed lately that have brought you peace or clarity? And which ones may have generated doubts or confusion? By analyzing these situations, you will begin to notice patterns and distinguish true signs from those that may be the result of your own projections. Spiritual awakening is a journey of constant learning, and each step brings us closer to a greater understanding of ourselves and the universe. Let's continue exploring together how to integrate this insight into everyday practice. Now that we've reflected on signs, intuition, and how to differentiate true messages from personal interpretations, it's time to explore how to integrate this spiritual awakening into everyday life. Spiritual awakening is not something that happens in isolation at specific moments or just when we are meditating. It needs to be lived, felt, and applied in every aspect of our daily lives. We often look for signs and answers at special times, such as during spiritual retreats or intense meditation practices. However, the true essence of spiritual awakening lies in the ability to perceive the divine in simple, everyday things. How can we perceive the presence of the universe in everyday activities? The key is mindfulness. The practice of mindfulness is a powerful tool for experiencing spiritual awakening in everyday life. By focusing fully on the present moment, whether it's eating, walking, talking, or even doing simple tasks, you begin to realize the depth that each moment holds. By dedicating yourself fully to what you are doing, without worrying about the future or regretting the past, you connect with the flow of life and the signs it brings. For example, when drinking a cup of tea, instead of getting lost in thoughts about what you need to do next, stop for a moment and notice the texture of the cup, the heat of the drink, the flavor, and even the aroma. By fully focusing on the moment, you not only appreciate the little things more, but you also connect with your inner being. This simple exercise of being present in each moment creates a bridge between the material and spiritual world. In addition to mindfulness, there is another essential practice to integrate spiritual awakening: gratitude. In our routine, it is easy to focus on what is missing or what we need to achieve. However, when we adopt the practice of gratitude, we begin to notice the blessings that are already present in our lives. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It is a daily practice that transforms our worldview. When you start to be grateful for the little things, for the air you breathe, for the food, for the sun that brightens your day, you make room for more good things to come into your life. Gratitude is a sign that you recognize and honor the presence of the divine in your life. When you act with gratitude, you send a message to the universe that you are in tune with the abundance of life. And what about self-care? Spiritual awakening is not just about seeking external answers, but also about taking care of yourself. Taking care of your body, mind, and emotions is a way of honoring the gift that you are. We often neglect our physical and emotional needs in pursuit of something external, but self-care is a clear sign that we are recognizing our worth. Adequate rest, healthy eating, and time to relax are essential to maintaining balance as we follow our spiritual path. Another fundamental aspect of spiritual awakening is the practice of detachment. Letting go does not mean abandoning or leaving behind everything we love, but learning not to get too attached to things, people, or situations. Detachment allows you to flow with life, without resistance, accepting changes and natural cycles. We often get attached to ideas and expectations, and this prevents us from living fully. When you let go, you become lighter, open, and available to receive new signals and experiences. And here it is important to remember, spiritual awakening is not a journey of perfection, but of acceptance. Accepting who you are, with all your imperfections, and accepting the present moment as it is one of the greatest ways to connect with your true essence. You may think, but how can I maintain this awareness amid life's challenges? The answer lies in cultivating patience and confidence. When difficulties arise, instead of letting yourself be dominated by fear or frustration, try to see the challenge as an opportunity for growth. Remember that signs can also manifest through obstacles. Sometimes difficulties are just what we need to become stronger, more aware, and more aligned with our true mission. What makes spiritual awakening so powerful is that it connects us with our deepest essence. When we practice these tools in our daily lives, mindfulness, gratitude, self-care, detachment, and patience, we begin to realize that there is no separation between the spiritual and the mundane. Everything is interconnected, and every moment of our life is an opportunity to connect with the divine. As you integrate these practices, you will begin to realize that signs are not something esoteric or distant, but a natural part of your daily experience. They are present in the simplest things, in the most casual encounters, in the lessons that life offers us. Spiritual awakening is about being aware, being present, and being in tune with life as it is now. As a practical exercise, I invite you to choose one of these practices and incorporate it into your daily routine. It could be gratitude when you wake up, mindfulness while doing a simple task, or taking a break to take care of yourself. Notice how this affects your perception of the signs around you. Every day, you will be more connected with your purpose and more aligned with the flow of the universe. This is the path of spiritual awakening. Now that we've explored the importance of noticing the signs and integrating spiritual awakening into everyday life, we come to one of the most transformative parts of this journey: trusting the process. Spiritual awakening is, in essence, a practice of surrender. Surrender to the flow of life, trusting that even in moments of uncertainty or difficulties, the universe is guiding you towards what is best for your growth. It's easy to get lost in the desire for control, wanting everything to happen according to our plans and expectations. However, the true wisdom of spiritual awakening lies in opening yourself to the unknown and trusting that everything occurs at the right time. When you surrender to the process, you stop fighting the circumstances and start embracing the experience as it is. This surrender is liberating. It takes the burden of constant control and allows you to flow with life. Trusting the process also means being patient with yourself. Sometimes we may feel like we are not progressing or that we are stuck in our spiritual journey, but awakening is not a straight line. It has ups and downs, moments of clarity and moments of doubt. And this is all part of the process. Every step, every mistake, every success is a learning opportunity. When you trust the process, you begin to understand that there is no error on the path, but only experiences that lead us to wisdom. Often we are so focused on the final destination that we forget to appreciate the journey. But the truth is that the path is the journey. The awakening process is a rich experience full of lessons that help us to know ourselves more deeply. As you embrace the present, you begin to realize that every moment, no matter how simple, is an opportunity for spiritual growth. Another essential part of this trust in the process is being open to new things. Spiritual awakening is not something fixed. It is fluid and constantly evolving. As we grow and expand our consciousness, we begin to perceive the world more broadly. What previously seemed difficult to understand begins to make sense. Changes, although challenging, become part of a new vision of life. This openness to the new allows us to accept new ideas, new experiences, and new ways of living. And here I want to leave you with an important reflection. How many times in your life have you found yourself resisting what was new? only to realize later that it was exactly what you needed. Resistance to new things is common, as we often feel like we are leaving our comfort zone. But spiritual awakening is about just that, leaving your comfort zone and embracing the transformations that life brings. Awakening is not something that happens all at once. It is a sequence of moments, small perceptions and transformations that accumulate over time. It could be a smile from someone you meet, a word that touches your heart, or even a seemingly small experience that upon closer inspection reveals a big lesson. Spiritual awakening is in every detail, in every interaction, and in the way you react to the world around you. It is also important to remember that spiritual awakening is not an end in itself. It is a continuous process of evolution and expansion. As we open ourselves to the new, we realize that there is always more to learn, more to discover, more to become. It's not about reaching a state of perfection, but about being willing to constantly grow, evolve, and transform. As you surrender to the process, you begin to realize that the signs, messages, and wisdom of the universe are always present. You begin to see the path in front of you more clearly and trust your intuition more deeply. Every sign that appears, every learning that arrives, is an opportunity to expand your consciousness and deepen your connection with the divine. Finally, I want to invite you to reflect on the following. In which areas of your life can you surrender more to the natural flow of the process? What are the internal resistances that still prevent you from completely trusting the path? What would it be like if you allowed yourself to experience awakening more lightly, accepting changes and embracing the unknown with confidence? These reflections are powerful tools for you to continue your journey of spiritual awakening. By trusting the process, you will be increasingly aligned with the flow of life, with the signs of the universe, and with your true essence. Now, I invite you to continue this journey of spiritual awakening with us by exploring the theme of our next video, Your Spiritual Awakening. How to reflect on the reasons someone is always on your mind. Let's continue this journey of self-discovery and connection together. With that, we end this video. May you continue walking with confidence, faith, and openness to the signs that the universe has to offer you. Until the next meeting.